the journey been like for you since you got here in February? What's it been to get to this point? What do you liked it?
I'm not trying to reflect on it yet, to be honest. I'm not, looking back. I'm just looking forward and looking to, obviously now the Warriors. I'm not looking back on what happened and what not. Just living the moment.
The Warriors are rather unique and present different challenges. What are you seeing from them when you're watching them on film?
You try to break down their tendencies as players, as a team. You're trying to break down where the triggers that they have. Obviously, they're very talented and well coached, and they have experience. So you're trying to get into that and into detail.
You played them in their first championship year, and you obviously played them many times, not in the playoffs, but since then. What was that series like, and how have you seen the team grow since then, the Warriors?
I haven't analyzed, it's hard to compare series and even years. Like you look back and even in this year, like when we played Orlando and when we played Milwaukee, it seemed like, like a long time ago. So it's hard to compare, like, what was it, 5 years ago when we played them with the Grizzlies? It'd be naive to try to compare the series. You just lock into tendencies and see the things that work for you as a player against them, and then try to do more of that.
You don't like talking about yourself a lot.
No, I
like
don't.
Focusing on the moment.
Yeah.
But you've been in this league a long time. This is your first trip to the finals. What does that mean to you as a competitor, as a chance?
Not getting caught up on those things, to be honest. I'm just I'm not doing that. Sorry.
Okay.
Speaking of things from a long time ago, you last played with Kyle a long time ago.
Maybe not that long. I mean,
Feels like a long time.
yeah.
What's different about him than when you played with him?
It's 12 years of experience. 11 years of experience. 2 kids. Life. A lot of things happen in 12 years. You learn a lot. You learn a lot about yourself, about everyone else, how you can impact other people, and hopefully all that is for the better. So I think as humans, we try to always improve and be better human beings, better obviously players, and better our job. So I think that's what happened. He got a lot better in 11, 12 years.
Mark, as big as the moment was on Saturday night, how quickly did everyone have to just flip that switch and say, good job, not done yet?
I think everybody understands that. You get to kind of soak it in and enjoy that moment, and after that that night, the next morning, it's on to the next challenge.
Is that the relationship you have with Kyle? I know you didn't play together all that long. Did it help you a little bit when you came here?
For sure, everything helped. Everyone, from having that relationship with Kyle, with Serge, with Sergio, playing against many times against Kawhi and Danny, the younger guys. Norm, Freddie, Pascal, everyone, Pat, like everyone helped me. To be honest, like it wasn't just just because of Kyle. I played with them that long ago. I think everyone from the team and outside has helped me.
How do you feel about the excitement of the fan base right now? Like the first time with the NBA Finals. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
How?
When I walk outside, they let you know how excited they are, and it's great, but it doesn't change, the things that you need to do to win every quarter, every possession, every game. You need to do those things and not get caught up in the excitement. Which is good to be excited, but, you got to be able to channel it for the positive of the team.
The pick and roll that Golden State's so famous for, Steph and Draymond, as a big, what does it do? What position does it put you in? And is it containable?
It depends on you got to do. It's kind of it's a domino effect of things that you need to do well that gets to that, and we're gonna have to do a good job on it, and start on the ball, communicating, being on the right spots. Depends which way he goes, where he's out on the floor, who's on the backside. It's so many things, but start on the ball.
Mark, you've been such a big part of the defensive improvement on this team. Do you still see that? Is it still growing?
Without a doubt, because every game that we've played presents a different challenge, and there's wrinkles to it, and a lot of those stuff are those things and wrinkles are sort of new to us. Obviously, I mean, as a team, as players, we've probably seen it, but as a team, how you approach those new challenges, it's kind of what defines you. So, and I think every time we hit a challenge or something was thrown at us, we reacted, pretty good.
Taking a step or two every time. What was the big step in the last series against Milwaukee?
Mentally, I think that nobody got down. I think everybody stayed in the moment. Everybody, played one possession at a time, even though things were not going great for us at times. I think we grinded out. We did what we needed to do.
How adaptive has this defense been, Mark, for guys who are still kind of figuring out what it is? Because you've faced very different teams round to round, and now you're facing a completely different team.
It's about the mindset and trusting the guy next to you, trusting your voice, trusting where you're at on the floor, just kind of doing whatever coach tells you to do, and do it to the best of your ability. So everyone has been doing as much as they can to help the team and putting the team ahead of anyone. So that's, I think, what separates us now from a couple of weeks ago.
You communicate a lot from the back in terms of kind of directing guys. Has that relationship gotten better with guys as time's gone on, that they get used to you and you get used to them?
Well, they always trusted me. I mean, there's no doubt. It's me understanding, more of the scheme and their tendencies and the team, what we're trying to accomplish with each scheme. But yeah, they always know where I come from and always want what's best for them and obviously the team.
What would your assessment be of Nick and his strengths in the time you've been here?
It's been very positive, and on times when at the same time when he need to be hard on us, he's been really hard at, allows you freedom to make your reads, but at the same time when to be really disciplined about his pillars, especially defensively, and you need those. Defensively, you need to be disciplined and tough and have that resilience, and he has those things. Offensively, he's very creative, so yeah.
Mark, the Raptors are the first team to make an NBA Finals without having a top 15 pick in the lineup. What's that say about the character of this team?
I don't know what it says about the draft. Who picks? I mean, I don't know. I was at the back end of the draft, so I was already asleep when the time they picked me, and so I can't really tell you much. I think it tells you more about how much of a lottery the draft is, and how much more important is to put the work in every day and continue to improve as a player. I think that's what it says more about. All right. Thank you.
Kyle, the end of the minute.
Trying to get out of trouble.
Now the Saturday's behind you. What's the feeling like this morning after such a big win?
We're preparing for the next series. Get ready to play a good team, a really good team, the defending champs, and feels like we just got to get prepared and like we, preparing for the next round.
You beat them twice this year. What's the difference that you expect to see in game one?
Regular season and means nothing. That means nothing.
How much time did you give yourself to flip the switch after the game?
Not much for me. No. Yeah, pretty much. It's a big task at hand. We know we got a good team. We got to be focused. Every single possession. It's going to be massive in this series.
Carl, how have you seen Nick progress as a coach from assistant to where he is today? You've been with him the longest?
I think he's always been a head coach. I think that's the one thing about him. He's always been a head coach type. I think he's always kind of thought that way about himself, and he, approached the game that way as a head coach. The difference, was, being on the court with players and, being around. It's a little bit different, but I think the transition from this year is just kind of, being there, and, he's kind of stayed the same way in the sense of how he just lay back and just, let everything happen, and, but he showed his fiery side when he needed to.
Yeah, we don't see that fiery side or very much of his personality very often. he does have it, and he does have a way to get at you guys?
I mean, it's only been a couple times this year, to be honest. It's only been 1 or 2 times this whole year that he's kind of showed that side, and but that's just how he is as a person. He's very chill and laid back, and if he starts to scream too much, he loses his voice seriously, and he can't do it but so much.
Do you find the pressure of fan expectations makes the pressure of the playoffs all that much more intense, or is it all just one and the same?
This is basketball. Ain't no pressure. It's fun. This is amazing. It's a great time.
Given the season you guys had and the run you've had and the success you had against them during the season, are you surprised at all at the amount of people picking against you guys at this point?
I don't even know who's picking against us. It don't really matter. Everyone has their own opinion, as always. For us, we just got to go out there and do our job. Regular season doesn't mean anything. They've been here before. We're here, but I think we got a very experienced and talented team. I think we're just focused on ourselves.
Kyle, this team is kind of so new together. Was there anything you did to sort of try and get a group of guys who hadn't worked together a lot?
No.
Start kind of building a bit of
I think us playing together, I think us just being around each other every day. I mean, the one thing about the NBA is you're around each other every day. You're literally around each other every day, hours at a time. You travel together, you stay at the same hotels. So it's just a simple everyday life, that being around each other is, you're going to get cool. You're going to get on the same page. You're going to have conversation. You're going to be cool.
And have you noticed over the playoffs that it's kind of accelerated a little bit?
I think we want to win. I think that's the one thing about us. We all want to win. I think we're on the same page, and I think that's, bless you. I think that's the one thing about it is that, we just know that we want to win, and I think that's why we're all on the same page.
Kyle, for a guy like Danny who maybe didn't play as well as you would have liked in the last series, how beneficial can this little break be?
I think it's a new series for Danny. I think that series happened a certain way. It's over with now. I don't think that even matters. I don't think anything that happened in the last series matters, besides us being finding ways to win games, and that's what we take from that series. Danny will be fine. Game 1, he'll be ready to go.
How does the uncertainty of Boogie and KD impact how you prep for those games?
We just go by day. We prep for their team. We don't prep for individual. We prep. We know they got Steph. We know they got Clay. They got Draymond. If KD plays, if DeMarcus plays, we know if they play, then we prep for it. We just go out there, we prep as a team for ourselves, and then, we figure it out later.
What's been the thing that stood out to you most about your guys' defense, particularly over the last 2 rounds?
Just the ability to change on the fly. I think in being disciplined, being really disciplined in committing to what we want to do. I think that's a big thing that we've done. It doesn't, not surprise, but I think that's what we've done as a team. We've committed to doing something and we've done it. We've had great conversations on the court and on the fly and watch a film. And I think that's the one thing that's helped us is everyone's kind of, being open-minded and, having a suggestion or this, and the coaching staff has done a great job of preparing us.
Kyle, the Raptors are the first team to make an NBA Finals without a top 14 pick on the roster. What's that say about the makeup of this team?
Just a bunch of professionals, a bunch of guys that go out there and play hard, enjoy the game of basketball, and we know this is our job and we love it and it's fun. And picks don't mean anything, you got some top picks that make, but for us it's just about being a team. It's not about 1 or 2 individuals. It's about a 15-man roster.
As you prep for these Warriors, is it important to be mindful of not being too respectful of a team that's going to their straight finals?
We know who they are. We got to go out there and do our job. And our biggest thing is preparing ourselves just to be prepared for us. It's just our first day of preparation. We got 2 more days to prep. We got more film to watch. We get in the court together. We got to prepare ourselves just to be ready be ready ourselves. Thank you.
No, you're right.
What do you do between Saturday night, incredible moment, and Monday getting to work on trying to prepare for one of the great teams we've ever seen?
Yeah, I mean, I just I took yesterday off. To be honest with you, I didn't do anything. I relaxed and I can't really remember what I did. Didn't do much, right? But fell asleep about 8:30 last night, so it's pretty tired. But yeah, came in early today to get to work, and just same rhythm for us. We just had a pretty lengthy film session with the guys, just kind of introducing them to the next opponent, and some defensive stuff and some personnel, and then tomorrow we'll cover some of the offensive stuff and special teams.
Nick, I would assume with a veteran team, it wasn't hard to kind of tell them to enjoy the moment, but let's move on and realize it's a bigger goal now.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, that's the message, I guess. I said a little bit about that in the locker room, after the game. To me, it's too far away to be giving any big speeches about anything right now. I just wanted to kind of get them switched off of the last team and on to the next one here a little bit and continue. I'd say this is still almost recuperation day today, really, both mind and body.
You beat Golden State twice this year. What are you expecting to see different in the final?
A better team playing harder. I think both teams playing harder and playing better.
Nick, is there any concern for you that the moment is going to get so big that, I mean, you've got players who've been there before, but you also have a lot who haven't? You have to address that.
I don't know. I think along this little playoff run, there's been some critical games, right? There's been some ups and downs, and again, I know I keep broken record this, but we're just trying to take what's in front of us, and right now it's game one, right? And if we come up with some ideas here, which we'll do before Thursday, some major emphasis points, and you know what some of them are going to be. They're going to be, give an incredible effort, right? I mean, that's no matter who we're playing, where, what gym, whatever, we gotta focus on some of those things of really running and really playing physical and really blocking out and playing great team defense. And then the rest of it takes care of itself a lot of times. So you try not to, you just got to zero in on what you're focusing on and get out of some of that stuff.
Warriors in their playoff past have obviously run a lot of centers off the floor. What makes Mark and Serge special and different in being able to stay on the floor, preferably for you guys?
I mean, I don't know, Eric. I guess, first of all, Serge is pretty versatile as far as being able to, play some smaller people. Mark seems to be able to be smart enough. I mean, he did some incredible switching in the last series, onto really good players, and was able to hold his own for the most part. I don't really remember any embarrassing moments where he switched onto somebody and they just zip right by him for a layup, right? He's pretty cagey with his size and his stick hand and being able to at least move his feet and catching up with them later on or something like that. So that's good that those two guys are able to play. And it's not, something that we haven't seen, that teams have tried to play us a little smaller and we've been able to keep one of those guys out there.
Warriors are obviously a different thing altogether, but having played Philadelphia and Milwaukee, so different stylistically and post very good defensive results, how encouraging is that to you to know you have that sort of stylistic?
Well, first of all, you're right. This will be a whole nother project, This will be a whole nother project. It's a different team that plays a different way. I mean, I'm glad we were able to adjust to the styles, right? I think they were as contrasting about as they could be with a set play, big, strong, all over the floor team that had a lot of scorers to a spread the floor, race it up the floor, punch the paint and try to kick out to a bunch of shooters. And we were able to adjust in those contrasting styles, I think, pretty well. So we'll have to do it again. I'm expecting it to probably start one way and go another, and lots of changes here and there. It's kind of hard like today to go in there and you show them some of their plays, and the guys will say, "How are we going to guard that?" And I'm like, "Well, here's three or four ways right here. We might guard it. We got to see which one's going to be best."
Do you enjoy that kind of part of the game, getting the adaptation and changing during the game? Does it suit your coaching personality?
I guess I enjoy it. I mean, it's part of it. You better be able to do it, Doug. Right? I mean, I think these games, change from game one to game two. Or even the players' performances change so much. I think I said this in one of the other ones. I get the games mixed up here a little bit, but one game Bledsoe really had it going. I think it was the game in Milwaukee after he hadn't played very well, and I remember saying in the timeout, this is not last game. We got to guard this guy differently tonight, So I think that stuff's going on all the time, and it's just kind of reading the moment and what you need. And sometimes you're really right with your ideas, and sometimes you're not. And if you're not, you got to quickly go to something else.
Hey, Nick, when you look at the way Fred kind of went from ice cold to as hot as you could probably be as a three-point shooter, and the way Danny's in that cold spot right now. I mean, how do you sort of deal with that as a coach and sort of predict it in terms of the way you define lineup?
Well, again, if you could predict it, you'd really have something going there. But you just gotta, you gotta go test it, right? Let's take Fred for example. First of all, I think I was not discouraged. I thought he was playing so great around his shooting numbers not being that good. We needed him. We needed his ball handling. We needed his toughness. We needed his leadership. It didn't really bother me very much. Really, really believe in the kid. Danny's the same. I think in the double overtime game he was 0 for 7 or something, and we had a couple guys foul out, and I kind of had to put him back in, and ended up asking him to make one. He said, "Okay, I'll make one." So we drew a play for him, and he made it. You just and now you get a new series, right? You get a new series, and you just don't know. Does this, for some reason the Orlando series didn't suit Norman Powell, but the Philly series didn't. The Philly series didn't suit Norman Powell, but for some reason the Milwaukee series did. Maybe that Milwaukee series didn't suit Danny for some reason, and maybe this one will, and that's where you got to kind of go until you see it.
These guys are obviously tough to guard in general, but how much does it help when you have Danny and Kawhi and Mark and Serge, who have all played against them in the playoffs multiple times and seen them, kind of just about everything in terms of figuring out what to do and how to do it?
Yeah, I think it helps. Obviously, Tim, I think the one big thing that you need to go in there with is that you can guard them, right? And those guys that at least have played them, will say, this is what we did. And in fact, Adrian Griffin has played him as an lead assistant defensive coach a number of times as well, and he's brought his game plans with him. They travel. So there's a lot of good ideas from a lot of guys, and that's we certainly open our ears and listen to our guys, and why wouldn't you, man? They're the ones out there, and they're the ones that have been through it already before.
Nick, this team is kind of new and it's come together on the fly a lot too. How much attention have you paid or did you pay in trying to develop some kind of connection with the group apart from on the floor?
Off the floor team building. I mean, yeah, we do some of that stuff, but it's like you said, we do a training camp. That's kind of what that's meant for, and stuff. And there was a lot of cool things that happened whatever organically on their own, and just kind of what teams do, right? Team bonding things. We have had some additions since training camp. There's a few guys here that didn't go through that. But really, Michael, I think going through some tough, hard playoff series and, just being together and fighting together and going through all the film and sticking together, right, I think is what really, really brings the team together.
Nick, you guys have faced a series deficit in all 3 rounds getting here. How important is it to set the tone early in the series? Is there a feeling that there isn't quite that margin for error against the Warriors?
Well, it'd be nice not to face a series deficit, that's for sure, right? But again, I think you just kind of got to take it as it comes, right? I think you certainly didn't want to lose the first game against Orlando, but for some reason that ended up being a really good thing for us because we looked pretty good the next 4 times out, right? So, and I don't know. We lost embarrassingly in Philly and played pretty good from then on out. We dropped 2 to these guys, and nobody really wasn't that despondent about it. I thought we'd go home and get a couple, and then we'll have a series on our hands. So we'll just play them as they come.
Can you give us an update on the OG situation?
Yes. He's doing better. He's on the court. He's moving around. He's I think healed. Not quite 100%, but healing really well. And I talked to Alex McKechnie today, and he said it's probably still about 10 days away from playing.
Big contact, huh?
Yes.
Obviously, this is a huge moment for the franchise, and you've seen how the country has reacted. But I was reading somewhere today that this run for the Raptors is going to inspire kids, 10,000 kids or more to play basketball. Has that kind of sunk in how it's going to go away from, the big-time hardcore to the grassroots teams?
It hasn't sunk in. I haven't really thought about that, but that's a really awesome thing to think about, right? And I think it is. And I mean, listen, I understand the excitement in the city. It's great, right? Somebody grabbed me right after the game the other night and said one comment, and I said this is an awesome city, man. I'm really happy for the fans here. I'm really happy. So, as far as the grassroots basketball, this country's really coming. Right, basketball-wise, it seems to be super popular and super talented. So I think it only helps it down the road.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. See you.
What's up?
Danny, you've played against the Warriors a few times in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
How different are they in the playoffs and the regular season, and do those experiences for you matter?
Obviously, during the regular season this year, I don't think they were 100% healthy each time. I think the first time, I think Steph might have been out, and the second time, I don't know who was out. But we also didn't have 100% both matchups. But throughout the years, they've changed their dynamic of certain players, but their system has pretty much been the same. They do a lot of great movement with and off the ball, screening, and getting their guys, their shooters open. Obviously, we don't know how healthy they're going to be 100%, game 1 or 2, but regardless, we got to go out and play. They're a good team. Whoever's on that floor, they've won games with, KD out, with Iggy out. So I said they have, 2 really elite shooters, scorers, and some other really good players. Draymond's a great asset for them, role player, and gets them going, energy, like he's their motor, their juice, their engine kind of thing. Can do a little bit of everything, and they have a lot of other pieces that fit perfectly within their system.
Pressure in the NBA Finals is bad enough, but for Toronto, this is like a maiden voyage into the finals and the fan expectations. That much more intense. Are you feeling that player expectation pressure on top of the NBA Final pressure, or is it all just sort of one and the same?
I don't think anybody's thinking about any of those things right now. I think a lot of people are just excited about the opportunity. It's basketball. Obviously you heard many people, other guys throughout the league talk about it. It's not really that much pressure. Obviously you want to do well, you want to play well, but we have an opportunity to make something special. Obviously we made something happen, some history, some new history happen recently, but we have an opportunity to make some really good history happen here, make something special happen this year within the city. So I think guys are so excited about that opportunity, they're not really focusing or thinking about player pressure or finals pressure. I think there's just it's new for a lot of these guys. You're not used to seeing as many cameras or as much media, or going through media day, or practice in front of the media, or having so many different days, or traveling, or figuring out how magnified it is of this stage. So it's very new for a lot of guys, but for I think most guys, I think they're just enjoying the moment and excited about the opportunity.
Hey, Danny, to that point, was it easy then to move on from Saturday, like enjoy the moment, but just, all right, now let's move on to this?
Yeah, I think it helps, especially when you have a couple of days in between. You get a day or so to relax and then get back to work. We know that we accomplished some great things, but the job's not done. There's one goal in mind for every team. Most teams, everybody wants to be last team standing. There's only one team that's happy at the end of the year. There's only 2 teams left now, so we have an opportunity to be one of those teams.
What about this team sticks out to you as a group?
Yeah. I think just defensively we've made some pretty good progression throughout the season and postseason with the time we've had with the group that we've had, and I think that's a most important key if you want to be that team, that last team standing. I'm going to get that one. Tell them I said hello. But yeah, so defensively, we've been pretty good for the most part. We've had a couple lulls or dud or games that were a dud for us where we didn't have great defense, and I think it's because offensively we turned it over and couldn't get a set defense. But when our defense is set and we're moving the ball offensively and taking good shots, we're able to get back and communicate. I think we have a pretty good foundation there, and we're going to need it, especially I said hopefully we can have some better shooting games with the way we've been shooting as a group. I'm still hoping that I think we all are, to see a good shooting night for everybody as a group collectively. It'll be scary if we were to get that in a series. But if we're not going to shoot like that, then guys have got to get their legs under them in these 5 days will help for sure. Obviously, Kawhi, he has knee issues, some injuries. Kalo has hand issues. Pascal's game, for me and him, game 98. We played quite a bit. So just mentally, emotionally, stepping away for a day or two could help a ton.
When you're going through a shooting slump, and you know you got better in you, I mean, how do you deal with that?
Just keep shooting, man. Don't think about it. And it's hard not to think about it because everybody in the world's telling you, don't think about it. Everybody you come across, you keep shooting it. Trust me, I'm going to keep shooting. Don't think about it. I'm trying not to. You're not helping. So everybody that's in my inbox, PSA, stop texting me. Don't think about it. Just keep shooting. I know that. Everybody I come across, you try not to think about it, keep shooting. I'm not second guessing myself whenever I get a look. But more so than anything, try to let my defense fuel that side of the floor for me. Be active, try to get in passing lanes, get some rebounds, box out, get into guys, and then offensively just run and hopefully build my rhythm back that way. But just keep shooting, don't think about it, and try to block out the noise from the media, your inbox, and everybody else that tells you not to think about it.
I mean, you've been shooting your whole life. Every shooter goes through slumps.
Yes.
How do you usually find your way out? Is there anything beyond just keep shooting the ball?
I just think it's huge to have my coaches and my teammates behind me, regardless their confidence in me. You gotta play through it. Really, you just gotta shoot through it. That's the only way. But other than that, for me, just to focus on other things and try to be active other ways, and not just rely on that. Try to attack the paint, try to get some easy ones at the rim or get to the free throw line, but set screens and just defensively be as active as possible.
Danny, to the point you were just making, a lot of athletes say they're their own worst critic. How intense does the self-evaluation or the self-criticism get at this time of year?
Very high. But at this point, as a veteran, you got to kind of understand. You can't be too hard on yourself. You got to let it go and move on to the next game, the next series. We have a new life now. We survived that series. I thank my teammates for helping me survive that series. Because if we didn't, I would be getting a lot of criticism, not just from myself. But just stay positive. And there's nobody more frustrated or more critical of themselves than the player that's actually going through it. And as much as I want to make shots, trust me. I know the fans are like, oh, you gotta. Everybody, come on, Danny. I want to make shots. Trust, I'm trying. But at the same time, you got to be positive, stick with it, and know, and be confident in yourself. Confidence goes a long way in this league.
Coach was in here saying earlier that maybe a certain series suits a certain player.
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee with Norm. Is it possible that series didn't suit you, and that another one might suit you a little differently?
Possibly, but I don't think that's the case. Throughout the season, we played Milwaukee a number of times, and I think I was able to get pretty good rhythm in some of those games. Just attacking and kicking and getting some good looks. I just think that series, I just didn't get the rhythm. I got some clean looks. I just didn't get the rhythm that I was hoping to get. But Norm said, and Fred, they got some pretty good looks because they handled the ball more. They had more ball handles on the floor at that time where they can attack and find each other. And they got some open looks. And they got a rhythm. And obviously, some of the time they weren't guarding Norm as a shooter. Then he started hitting some. Then he started playing them close, but he's able to attack the basket and get to the rim. That's his game is getting to the rim, getting to the basket. But he hit some big shots for us. And then Fred said him just being active and moving. Thank God for Freddie Jr. He got some good looks and he was just knocking them down.
Danny, the defense has been so locked in for a while now. How much credit should
Oh, he's been great, man. And he's allowed us some freedom to figure it out. But his schemes of getting certain guys different looks at the different players, especially all-stars. You want to throw different things at them and have them thinking and rattle them a little bit, get them out of rhythm. Has been huge, especially in the last series. Keeping Middleton limited and trying to limit Giannis as much as we could. He's been great for us. And so at the end of the day, regardless of what the schemes are, they've adjusted, we adjusted, make adjustments, and we have to figure it out. And I think because we've had such, we have some good veteran guys that have been there and can communicate, it's easier for us to be out on the floor and make things happen on that end of the floor.
Behind the scenes, he seems pretty quiet with us.
Yeah.
Is it that way behind the scenes?
No. I mean, he's still a quiet guy, but when we were discussing the theories, the schemes, and how we're guarding certain people, the personnel, in the film room, he definitely speaks up and lets it be known what we're doing, what he wants, and what we're looking to do. And from there, we try to make it happen as best as possible. And then instead of whatever adjustments they make, we try to sort of communicate, adapt, and do as best we can.
Do you think your Spurs team in 2017 would have beat the Warriors if Kawhi didn't get hurt?
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's hard to say. I think we had a good chance of winning game one for sure. Certain games can change the series. You never know. But it would have been nice to see, or it would have been interesting to find out if we had a healthy Kawhi. But he wasn't, so we had to go without him and figure it out from there. And we lost. They were a really good team. It wasn't meant for us to win that year or for us to be 100% healthy. I think we were very confident, especially going into that second half. We had a pretty decent lead. I think we're rolling, and obviously this is some of his best basketball now here that you guys have seen. I think that game was one of the best games I've seen him play completely, all around. Obviously, some games he'll have great rebounding, great assist game, and obviously he's been great scoring regardless, and then defensively. But that game, I think he was picking them apart of scoring and facilitating, rebounding, and defending. And as a group, I think together we were playing pretty well. So we were pretty confident going to that second half.
Danny, the Raptors are the first team to make an NBA Finals with a top 14 pick on the roster. What's that say about the character of the team?
A lot of guys have come from some good places, some good stories behind it, but have a chip on their shoulder. I think that end of the day, that's the guys that remain in the league are the guys that know what it's like to be out the league or be picked last or have a point to prove. A lot of characters built on this team coming from many different places. Very similar to, San Antonio. I want to keep going back to that, but we got guys from different foreign places that, weren't top picks, but, and those are usually the guys that stick around, usually the guys that work the hardest and have a point to prove. So, hopefully the story doesn't end for us, here.
How do you perceive, the fan base excitement in the city, the country,
Oh, it's been crazy, man. It's been wild. I thought it was wild in San Antonio, but here is another level of how the fans who came and leave the arena. They're on street lights and jumping on trucks and poles and a lot of crazy stuff going on in the city. Surprisingly, no one's arrested. I think due to the cops being nice. So, but it's been amazing energy, man, throughout the whole city, not just in the arena.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, guys.